Nvidia is the biggest of the tech companies, or one of the biggest. And stocks up over 125% so far this year. We've seen that pull back from all-time highs above $140 a share, Alex. So, maybe some profit taking, maybe some caution as the big tech rotation trade takes out. But I haven't seen anybody come out and say, hey, we expect, slower growth, or, we're not going to have an earnings beat at the end of August.
Yeah, at some point, though, this has just been a name that the run's been pretty extreme. Maybe a little bit of a game of kind of musical chairs or hot potato, where it was sort of, hey, as long as it's keep going up, I'm okay increasing the risk. But the second it turns, maybe the confidence that this has maybe gone a little bit too far, maybe the expectations gotten a little bit too high. Consider, it's not just beating today, it's not just beating by a lot today, it's basically doing this into perpetuity to maintain, a 40x multiple when you're a $3 trillion company. Now, granted, it's not a $3 trillion company anymore, it's come down a lot. $27, we're talking about a lot of outstanding shares when it comes to Apple. You're looking at every single dollar being $24.6 billion in market cap for Nvidia. So it's a huge, huge number that has been basically taken out of the value of this company just in the last few weeks. But it does seem that while we're not necessarily working at an extreme pace lower, these dips that are being bought are lasting less and less time lately.
Right.
This is similar to what you're seeing in the overall market, but I think it begins and ends here. The stock has had a couple big gaps lower. And it's certainly been met with buyers. That makes sense. It's been the winner in the market. There's going to be a thinking of, hey, this is an opportunity to get into this name. But we're quickly, and we saw it yesterday. I mean, the stock traded down to 106, and it was like a snap of the finger. It lost, $250 billion in market cap. Now, granted, it came back, but it was unable to take out yesterday's high today. It fell from that level right at the open. Mm-hmm. Even as the market is making new highs intraday, Nvidia is still a good $3 off its highs intraday. So I do think there's been a sea change here.
Right.
Doesn't mean it's going to go down to double digits. Maybe it will. And maybe earnings will have a part in that down the road, but we don't hear from them till the last week of August. Perhaps increase of implied volatility, sideways trending name. Oftentimes that's how breakdowns happen. Start by going up, then you go sideways, then you go down. Maybe perhaps if there's going to be either a breakout or breakdown, maybe we have to have a sideways phase first.
Yeah, and I've been talking about that with the overall market, maybe some consolidation warranted after the big gains. But like you said, it consolidated for a few weeks. Now it's down lower, below its 50-day moving average. But Alex, when you look at this, when Google came out and they said, hey, we're still going to spend on AI. We have to buy chips. We have to buy infrastructure, and they're not going to pull back. That was interesting to me, even though Google fell because YouTube advertising was a little bit lower than expected. But I'm surprised that Nvidia didn't catch a bid on that, because that's basically saying, hey, we're going to keep buying AI and AI chips and AI infrastructure, and that's right in the wheelhouse of Nvidia. Are you surprised that we didn't catch a bid on that, or is it just because it's still up 129%?
The reality is it did, and it just didn't hold.
It faded right away.
If you were watching after hours when Alphabet's numbers came out, Alphabet also caught a bid.
Right.
And then as the market digested it, and as the overall macro picture unfolded, there wasn't enough confidence for those prices to hold. And Nvidia is a good, $10 lower than where it was. Alphabet's a good $20 lower than where it was. So I look at this and say the stories are great, and as long as the market's going up, you sound like a genius. But sometimes just risk tolerance and risk sentiment changes. Clearly, there's a desire to be involved in small cap growth companies on that front more so right now than these big mega cap tech firms. And so, who am I to say to the market that can't be right? Yeah. That's just the reality of today. Could change tomorrow. Could change next week. Could change around earnings. But these same stories, saying AI a bunch of times in your conference call isn't enough to keep the stocks higher now, that's notable. Maybe the numbers are going to be great for Nvidia, but we're not going to find that out till the end of August.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to be a part of a market where the Russell 2000 is leading it to the upside and tech's weak. But you've got